Right. Well,
I suppose nothing's finished, but everything's improving slowly.
Isn't that the definition of a boat?
Yep.
Hey, Doug here from Electric Dream Machine, and you know, we're into any sort of electric vehicle. If your dream machine is an electric bike, that's fine. If it's an electric Porsche, that's fine. If it's an electric ferry, that's fine too. I'm here with Steve Cleary, and we're going to have a look over his electric ferry project. Okay, well, let's have a look at this amazing ex-Sydney Ferry. And there's Steve in there, so I'll just hop aboard without falling in the water. And we're going to have, we'll have a quick look. How are you, Steve?
Good, thanks.
We're going to have a quick look through the ferry and just give you a tour of it. Steve's done so much work on this in the last 2 years. And then we'll pause and we'll have a look at the electric conversion, and we'll also have a look at the some of the electrical work he's done on converting the Hyundai inverter to get that working for Sneak Peek. So where do you want to start, Steve? You want to just take us for a wander around?
You want to start at the front of the boat?
Let's start at the front of the boat.
All right, we'll go up the front.
Through the kitchen. We'll come back to that.
I might just get that out of the way.
That's all good. You can see there's a lot of work Steve's been doing on repairing some of the...
Oops, sorry.
That's all right. No, some of the...
get out your way.
The work, like he was telling me before about how you redid this. This was the original mooring post?
Samson post.
Samson post.
Yes, yeah, it was originally an 8-inch by 8-inch timber beam, basically, or post that went right down to the keel and up here, and that's what actually broke in a storm, and the boat drifted down and ended up on its side on the sandbank.
Yep. Yeah, and it was a sandbank down.
Yeah,
that away.
That direct line between here and the rail bridge.
Yep. You can see that rail bridge. So we're in the beautiful Hawkesbury River. Right. Well, where do you want to take us next?
So, yeah. So that's the bow section.
The polished vents that go down in the
yeah, they're all cast.
The forward bowl cones. Yep.
Beautiful old castings. Yes.
Yep.
While washing.
That's all right. The bedroom.
Yeah. So this was the 2 toilets were here with a service panel in the middle, and I've taken them out and made this a sort of a bedroom.
Yep.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah, just still lots to do in the galley.
Yep. We're looking at some of the
and then there's
some of the repair work that's still
yep.
happening here. It's a work in progress, we're saying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is great.
Pulling out some rotting deck timbers and replacing them. Yeah. Right.
Tell us about your kitchen. This is beautiful, because this was all empty. There was nothing along that side.
There was a sort of a bench here and a sink actually, but no taps. There was an old gas stove there, but it was all done with chipboard.
Oh, of course.
So it was all swelled up and rotten, and I just chucked the whole lot out.
Yep.
In fact, when we first got on, I rigged up a water tank so that we could use the sink. And when I pulled the plug out, the water came down all on our feet. It wasn't even connected up to anything.
No, it's amazing.
It was just, yeah. Anyway, so we built it now, so it all works now. We've got hot and cold water.
Yeah, cool.
And we've got the stove. All the timbers are recycled, second-hand timbers. Everything that's gone into the boat is recycled timber.
Fabulous. And it looks great.
Yeah, it's nice. It's hardwood. So It should outlast me.
It looks like it was meant to be there.
Yeah.
It looks original.
Yeah.
That's cool. You've got the microwave and the little oven.
Yeah.
That's cool. Awesome. This is where the motor is, but we'll come back to that later on.
This is the most important part, and this stays. I try and keep this relatively clear. This is the bar. So it's about the only clean spot in the place. But
yep.
Anyway.
That's all right. Look at our one spot that stays clean. I just love this ability to just walk out here and you're on the edge of your boat. It's fabulous.
Yeah, so I've got a fridge and freezer here. They run off 240 volts. We'll have a look at the solar panels up the top and the inverter in a minute.
Sure.
But they just run. I've never had them use more power than I had. It's really great. They've just been a godsend.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, so all the cupboards. Haven't quite finished them. They all need varnishing and catches and that sort of thing, but we'll get there.
Tell me about this centre table.
The centre table, I had to have a big table in here, and I wanted it for 12 people, so I built that out of old bench tops, and I dabble a little bit in music, so I decided that if I wanted to have a band practice here with saxophones and double basses and that, the table would be in the way, so I built a winch into the back locker here, which is where they normally had the life jackets. I built a winch in there, and that winch pulls the whole table up out of the way so I can have a band practice.
I just love it. I love it. I love convertible spaces. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you want to take us to the front or to upstairs?
I think we'll leave that
You'll
back
leave.
corner out. Yeah, so
you can see at the back there's this large, let's see if I can point to it, is where the rudder shaft comes down. We'll see the top end of that.
yeah, so that's the area where I have done all the pressure washing, because everything was coated in oil and mud, and as I've taken bits and pieces out, taken them to the back there and pressure washed them.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
Actually, just tell us about the thing that you're holding onto at the moment. This is.
So, to get the engine out, which was a Detroit 671, which weighed about 1,500 kilos, I had to put this I-beam in. I've attached it to the front bulkhead, which it gave us support, but I had no way of supporting it here. So I built this A-frame, and these bits of steel have a bit of history. They came from the Knox Grammar's school holiday camp for the kids, and these bits were the sides of the bunk beds. So
it's a great system.
They're in their second life here.
And so that lets you pull the gearbox out and then the motor out.
I lifted the gearbox and I took the bar out temporarily, mind you. Yeah. And then I brought the engine here, and so that 1,500 kilos is a big heavy chunk of steel to move. And my friend came with a big barge, and we couldn't quite get the crane in the door. Yep. So I ended up putting two 200-litre drums of water on this side, and we filled them up, and the boat tilted over, and the crane could come in and pick it up.
Perfect. Only on a boat.
So we got that, yeah.
Yeah, great.
That was
right. Where to next?
Right.
Go up.
Do you want to go up, and then we'll come back and have a look at the motor?
Yep. Actually, we'll just.
And
I'll show you in the loo. This lovely little setup here.
I forgot that bit.
With a perfect little bathroom there. Okay, and up we go.
This has been, mind your head.
Yep.
This has been a bit of a storage place.
And it's all still a work in progress. So the original wheel with the original hydraulic drive And then you said that you repipe these are the two main hydraulic lines going back
Yeah,
to
so
the tiller or rudder, what do you call it?
it's a rudder. Yeah.
Rudder. And so we're external, you were saying.
Yeah,
and
so those pipes used to run out on little cleats above the deck.
Yep.
And I decided that was not a good idea, so I pulled them out, stripped all the paint off the pipes, cleaned them off inside, and then rerouted them through the
That's cool.
to the ceiling inside.
We would just briefly look at your. So these are Calb 100 amp hour
100 amp
lithium
hour, yeah.
cells. Yep. And running into a 2 kilowatt. Did you say inverter?
2.5 kilowatt.
2.5 kilowatt. There you go. All very temporary, but functioning really well.
Yeah, so that runs everything on the boat, including the drop saw. It runs a compressor.
Yep.
And of course the fridge and freezer.
Yeah, fabulous. Ooh. This is probably the bit you don't want us to look at, which is the workshop space. But now, here we go.
Plenty of mess, but
now, how much solar panels did you say you had here? I've
got about 1,100 watts of solar.
Yep.
And they pretty much keep everything going. I haven't run the generator for a few weeks. I think the last time I ran it was when we had overcast, rainy weather for a few days in a row. So
very cool.
Yeah, so that
simple system.
They've done pretty well.
Yeah. So we go up the front. Oh, now you tell everyone about you've said everything's gone into the boat is second-hand, recycled.
Yeah. I must be the Hornsby Scrap's biggest customer because all the railings have come from there, and I've chopped and changed and tacked it all together, and I'm waiting for the next lot of material to arrive so that I can continue it and finish it off. So.
Very nice.
I'm a patient man.
Nice work.
It might take a while. Yeah, these are the vents that go down into the down below the deck, and I pulled them off. They're steel, so I pulled them all off and cleaned them all up and made these little stainless guards to keep the swallows from going in.
Because they will.
Yeah. So
all right. Let's have a look at the front.
I don't know if you want to have a look at the front of it.
Yep. I'll try and not lean against the railing that's not there.
Don't lean against the bit that's not there. So.
It looks in such good nick, and I bet it looks a lot better now than it did when you.
Well, I've rebuilt this whole front section here. All this was just rotting, so I've rebuilt all that and glassed over that with. Just a layer of glass.
It's very cool. Right. Well,
I suppose nothing's finished, but everything's improving slowly.
Isn't that the definition of a boat?
Yep. So I rebuilt that mast too. That was like probably 2 or 3 weeks solid work, cutting out rot and fixing it up, and then I made all these new stay wires.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
you're a man of many
keeps me busy and happy.
This is a good chance to have a look over there. There in the top, you can see the work that's going, going into it.
So that handrail there, I built from scratch inside the boat. That big curved section, I laminated and cut it. And
And how long have you been working on the boat? 2 years or so?
Well, yeah. So. I floated the boat on the 28th of December 2018, and it's been a more than full-time job since then.
Not a holiday, but a working holiday.
It is. It's my sort of holiday. I just love working on the boat. There's so many different things to do and so many different things to learn. So it's good fun.
I'll go up the back here, which is the sort of workspace, so it is necessarily messy. But you'll see some of the original ferry seating. And there's another one down here. And being someone who grew up a little bit in New South Wales, this is actually bringing back a lot of memories seeing something.
Yeah.
It's great.
So that just came out of where the shower was, or in front of the shower. That just came out yesterday.
Yep. Yeah. That's great. And then over the back here, you'll see the... so under here is where the actuators are to drive the rudder.
So a bit of other... What the plan is, all these tubes here, there's 10 of them, all cut to length. They're ready sort of to go up, but they will go along here.
Yep.
At about this height.
Yep.
I think they have 2.1 long, and then I'm going to put. I've got enough space for 5 kilowatts of solar along the top.
Yep.
It's just going to be a skinny sort of canopy, so that it doesn't impact too much on the look of the boat.
Yep.
So, but once I've got that 5 kilowatts, that will be what I use to charge up the batteries.
Yep.
That run
driving. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And 5 kilowatts will, well, we'll talk about the drive system and the how many kilowatts you need to go how far, and that's great. Well, look, I think I'll pause it here for the boat tour. Thank you for that, Steve. That's fascinating. It's a wonderful vessel. It's very, very cool. All right, we'll see you in the next bit. We'll have a look at the mechanicals of it.